So in the center, I'm going to pull a clarifier card for the King. King of Cups. So this is the energy that is throughout November, is this King of Cups energy. And I feel like this is Sagittarius, even though you're a fire sign. I feel like this is you, even though it's a water sign. So I think you're going to be exhibiting some of the qualities of the King of Cups, which is being connected emotionally with people surrounding you, being connected with your own emotions, being able to make a clear decision, even in the face of emotional doubt. But even though you're going to be able to do that, a challenge will be that you won't necessarily, this is it. You're going to have hope. You're going to need to use hope. Hope will be where your impetus for everything will be. Hope and faith, because you will not be able to see the outcome. You will not be able to see how it's going to turn out. It's not going to be clear, and you're going to have to go on that gut instinct and trust your gut. Trust your gut. Even if it feels like, even if it looks like it's not going to pan out, trust that inner strength. It's going to guide you correctly. Okay, so in the love area we have the Lovers reversed, Three of Cups, and then the Queen of Cups. So I mean, this is truly a love sector, with the cups being there and then the lovers, of course. But the lovers are in reverse, so I feel like you're going to be giving kind of a facade in a way that you want to break out of a relationship, that you want to break out of a contract, that you want to let something go, and you don't know necessarily how to do it. So you might be just ignoring the situation and going out and having fun with your friends. And instead of actually dealing with the situation head on, you are kind of slinking around the edges and being like, oh no, everything's fine, I'm good. And then you're going to satisfy yourself with going out with others, instead of actually taking care of the person that you love at home and treating them with the respect that they deserve, and saying, you know what, I don't feel comfortable in this relationship. I don't feel like this is where I want to be. And it just, at this point, Sagittarius, I feel like you feel like that's going to be harder to do than just ignoring the situation. But the truth is that you definitely need to deal with it head on, instead of doing what you're doing, and because it's making them feel bad what you're doing right now, because they can see it. They see you going out, they see you having fun, and it's not with them. And so they already understand that something is wrong, but it's up to you to let them know exactly what's going on. And it can also be in the reverse, that somebody's doing this to you. And if you're receiving this energy, then it's you have to act in both cases like the Queen of Cups. You have to arise and push through those emotions, even though it's difficult. So if somebody is not being honest with you, they're not necessarily doing anything negative towards you. They're just ignoring you, which in a way I think can be the worst of it all, because you never know. You're in the dark. If they are doing that to you, then rise up, my beautiful kings and queens, and face it on, and stand in your strength and say, you know what, this is not how I deal with relationships. This is not how I do relationships. And so I need you to be honest with me and let me know what's going on. If you're not feeling it, then I need to know, because I deserve more than that. And if you are not feeling the person that you're with, or the person you're dating, or somebody that you're interested in anymore, then, instead of just ghosting out, let them know, like, you know what, I think you're a wonderful human. I just can't be with you right now. That means so much more than just not returning their calls. In the family area, we have the Nine of Swords, the Fool, and then the Six of Discs. So something is worrying you. You're concerned in your family. So how I see it is, it could be you, but I think it's somebody in your family, and it could be also linked in love that, you are worried about your partner. But here we have the Fool. So I feel like you are worried about somebody's actions being um, foolish, not being thought out, not having a really good plan. And Sagittarius, you are like the most fun to be around. Like, you are the life of the party. People always want you to be around because you're funny, you're witty, and you have no problem meeting new people and dancing and having a joyous time. Like, you guys are really outgoing, and it's really fun for everyone around you. Um, but for some reason, you could be worried about somebody because they are overzealous about that, or doing it for the wrong reasons, not because they love to do it, but because they're ignoring their responsibilities, or trying to just douse some sorrow with this action. And I feel like it's you have the capacity to talk to them and be part of their life, and kind of school them in a way, like say, hey, listen, I understand what you're going through. I've been there too. I understand it completely. But this is, we need to shift this. This energy needs to shift. What you're doing is toxic for you and everyone around you. And I don't want to see that happen to you. Okay, and like, let them know that you're worried, you're up at night, you wake up in the middle of the night thinking about them and what's going on, and lend a hand. Lend a hand to that unfortunate person who's going through that, because it's very challenging, and sometimes all they need is to be acknowledged, and acknowledge that this is a tough time, and that they're not alone. So you have that gift to give. So I truly do hope that you can give that to somebody in your family. And if you need this, if that is you, that you are going out and partying too hard because you're full of sorrow, find somebody in your family that you respect and admire, and say, hey, I'm just not in a good space. And they will be able to connect with you and, hold space for you. All right, so then in our career and work, we have Eight of Wands, Page of Swords in reverse, and then the Six of Swords. So some of you may be leaving your job. Some of you may be shifting in your job. I don't see it as necessarily you guys getting fired. I feel like it's just, you've been getting some different opportunities, you've been getting some different choices, and you've decided to take them. And some of you who are on the fence will definitely, who are teeter-tottering, like, should I stay in my job or should I go? You'll get pushed to go, because we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So, they could be crossing you in a way for to benefit themselves and not to help you out. So they could be kind of sneaky. They could be saying things to other people that are not true, or they're just exaggerating situations, or they could be saying things that are true but aren't necessary, don't need to be said, but they're just doing it because it makes them look better, it makes them feel better, and it could be directed, towards you and your actions. And so that could be like the last straw for you, of like, forget this. I was wondering if I should leave. I was wondering if I should carry on with this job, but obviously it's time for me to go. And if you do decide to make that choice, to go, I think it's definitely the right one to do. You're going to move on to something better, and you're going to leave this Page of Swords behind. You're going to just pass them. And yeah, you have a lot. And if you aren't thinking of leaving your job, then you're going to just have a lot of work on your plate, and different tasks given to you, and people might be a little short, and just not exactly the most friendly about asking you to do certain things. But I don't think it's your boss. I think it could be a coworker who's doing this, who's possibly younger than you, and that could be kind of annoying too. Like, they don't even know I've been doing this job since they were a baby, kind of feeling. And that could make you question if you should stay there or at least shift something in your work. Now, if you're not thinking of shifting, then this is also just symbolizing you need to take walks during the day. Get out of the office when you're there. Get out of your job. Clear your head in the fresh air. Walk around. Just, take some time during the day. And that will make your work much more manageable. In finance, we have 6 of Cups, 2 of Discs, and the Magician. So you're trying to balance your finances, but it's not in a negative. I feel like you are actually quite abundant, Sagittarius, and you could be getting something from a family member. You could be getting an inheritance, and you don't really know what to do with it. Like you're like, oh, I didn't expect that. You could be getting a gift from someone, and it's completely out of the blue. You're just like, whoa, I had never, and it's perfect timing, for the winter and holiday season. And so I think that could be a big benefit for you. And so you could turn that into something very beneficial, but just be careful that you don't just lavishly spend it and be like, I'm gonna go to Peru or Milan or Paris or, just somewhere extravagant. If you're just doing it on a whim, like I'm just gonna go there, I think this is kind of saying weigh it out, balance it out, see what is really worthwhile, and that'll raise you. Because we have the Magician, so it's like once again it's kind of a magical feel, and you have everything just at your fingertips that you can use. So just make sure that you're doing something that you will definitely benefit from now and in the future. So, if you go to Peru, let me know, because I think that would be amazing. And I'll hide in your suitcase, Sagittarius. The first one is you are profoundly clairvoyant. And the second one is the God box. Okay, so the first one, you are profoundly clairvoyant, says, trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. Yeah, absolutely, Sagittarius. And then with the God box, it says, write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you get. I'm so sorry, I'm going to start over. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. All right, so here we go. This is if you have some problems, some issues with work, with family, you have some things that are just teeter-tottering and you're just like, I don't know what to do. This is a great God box. It's just saying, write it down and let it go, and the divine will help you. It's often when we are stuck and we don't necessarily have control over the situation. We can't control the person who's out of control. We can't control a coworker who's being nasty, but what we can do is control our reaction to it and the energy we put into it. So by writing your worries and concerns and desires on the paper and then giving it away, you are giving it to the higher energy to see it and deal with it, and help you along. And you might be getting messages in regards to these problems, to these inquiries that you give to your God box, through clairvoyant messages. So if you get that funny feeling, you get that hunch, very, very much so listen to it. And that's what is at the center of your reading, is follow your hunch. Yeah, in all of these areas, is whatever you do, if you feel that tingle, listen to it.